What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Kuempel with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. I'm super excited. We have a very special guest. Her name is Laura Formentini. She is an author, a non-profit photographer, and an activist. Laura, thank you for joining us today. Can you please introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about your background?
Sure. Hi. Well, thanks for having me. So I'm an author, nonprofit photographer, and I'm an activist. And I've worked pretty much all over the world, from Africa to Central America and back. And I've worked as a nonprofit photographer for a long time, and I've seen many different people who have come out of very difficult circumstances, who have overcome tremendous odds, and who have done amazing stuff. So I've worked with people who have founded orphanages and people who have founded animal sanctuaries and really, really amazing stuff. And I started pretty much doing this when right after my mother passed away, and my divorce was finalized, and I really realized that I wanted to do something different, not just making money. I just wanted to really do something for the world and for myself as well, while working in the world.
Yeah.
And so nonprofit photography has taken me all over the place, and especially Africa and Central America. So I've worked in Kenya, I've worked in Malawi, I've worked in Puerto Rico and Costa Rica, and it's been an amazing experience. And I can tell you, there are people out there who really overcome the most amazing things, and they come out of backgrounds that are very difficult.
Yeah.
And my message is, if they can do it, if they've been able to do it, we can can as well.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and before then I was an archaeologist, and I'm originally from, I'm originally from Milan, Italy. And so I worked in Greece and Rome and Spain, and it was really fun because I've always been very open. I always wanted to travel and, experience the world and be really, just be open and experience it all. And so my main thing was to really try to experience the world as much as possible. And I have been. And, but, right now I'm at a point where I realize that I'm experiencing the world, but also helping the world at the same time. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, you've led a very interesting life. And what kind of nonprofits do you work for?
So so I've been working with the main one is Plan USA, and Plan USA is it's actually Plan International USA right now, and it's based out of Rhode Island. Okay. And it's child sponsorship program where I've been sponsoring more than probably 40 kids over a period of like 17, 18 years, since 2004. And it's been amazing because I was sponsoring so many kids. And, the beauty of it is that you get to also travel to your child's country of origin if you want to. You don't have to, but, it's a beautiful project where you can actually get to travel there and experience their culture and meet your child and really see how things, how they cook, how they live, how they sleep, what their home is like and everything. And so since I'm a writer, I thought, why not partner up with Plan International and write a book with them? And so one of the ideas was to say, hey, to them, since, hey, I'm one of your major sponsors.
Yeah.
Why not write a book together? So what we've been doing is they've been reaching out to the children, actually to the adults who were previously sponsored as children.
Okay.
And how about I interview them? And,
Sure.
obviously we're going to do Zoom right now because we can't do much, but
Right.
my idea was to really interview them through Zoom and really talk about their life previously. So previous to sponsorship, during sponsorship, and after.
Yeah.
Because my idea is that, it's a great opportunity to also not just to do something really awesome in the world, but also to really get to know a different country and really see how other people are living in this beautiful world of ours, which is not all bad. Some
Yeah.
people are just so negative about it. I've been like talking to my kids in Nepal and India and Bangladesh and I have kids in Bolivia and kids in Africa and it's interesting how we exchange letters and I sometimes send them gifts but it's really cool to get to know their culture and really see how they live
Yeah.
and what their life was before sponsorship because I think that it's important to really know that you can spend your money in an amazing way and this way is child sponsorship but it's also something that can take it's almost like a lifetime um, relationship that
Yeah.
you forge with your child because so you can sponsor them up until they're 18 years old, okay, but then after they're 18 it's up to you. You can
Sure.
keep sponsoring or not, and the beauty of it is that you can have this amazing relationship until for the rest of your life
Right.
because you
Right.
can either keep sponsoring or help them out with their life after you know the program is over. You can even say, hey, okay, I'll help you out with a visa and you can come over to my country, and so
Sure.
it's an amazing thing. And so I am a survivor of a suicide. So my son died by suicide 2 years
Great
ago,
story.
and and this beautiful thing has really helped me to overcome it because I know that I've been playing a specific role in so many different kids' lives, and
Yeah.
it's been really cool. And so they have really lifted me up in a lot of ways, and I love the work that I do because I know that it's something that I call love in action.
Yeah.
Instead of just like sitting around and I don't know what I mean, there are so many opportunities for everybody to really step up into something really cool
Yeah.
and be a difference in so many people's lives. Um, Sponsorship is one of those things. It's not like adopting.
Right.
That takes forever. And,
Yeah.
and,
Can I
um,
ask what got, so you've been doing it for a very long time. What got you into just sponsoring?
it's funny because I had two boys. So, I have a 28-year-old, and I also would have had a 23-year-old, but they're both boys. And at the time in 2004, I was really thinking, oh, I would love to have a girl, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to have any more kids, like biological kids. It just takes a long time to, it would have taken a lot of effort to do it,
Sure.
and so I started looking online, and one of the options that came up was sponsorship. And I was like, I would love to maybe sponsor a girl.
Sure.
And so my very first girl that I sponsored was from Zimbabwe, and and then that led to another, and then another, and then another, because really I saw how cool this program was. And the beauty is, you get letters from them, so you can write letters to them, and they write letters back to you.
Yeah.
And then you can also send them gifts through their organization. you can send maybe a soccer ball or crayons,
Oh my gosh,
things
I
like that.
love it.
Yeah, it's just so cute. And, all the stuff that they send back to you is adorable. And obviously, a lot of them don't speak your language, or maybe they're too young. Sometimes, sponsoring a 5-year-old. So
Right.
what happens is you'll have uh, someone from the community who helps as the translator. So he'll translate your letters for them, and then he translates, or she translates, the letters back to you.
Yeah.
And so it's been really cute, because it's just like, it's almost like once you have so many kids, you're like hugging the world, like
Yeah.
hugging the globe. Oh my God, I have so many kids, and just, it's beautiful. And then, so this has really helped me to feel like, well, I've been doing something good. And especially after Blaze, my son, passed away, um, I'm feeling like even more so a mom, even if 2 years ago I didn't feel like a mom anymore because of what happened, but I'm feeling like it's good. So it's been really sweet.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so, is there different types of sponsorships, or is it just one level of sponsorship for?
Um, for what I know, there's just one. Basically, what happens is when you're sending your money to your sponsored child, you're not only helping the child with maybe, say, education or food or water, you're also helping the community at the same time, because sometimes what happens is they'll take part of that money to and that money will go towards the community. So maybe, say, they need to build a well, or they need to, oh, that's so cute, build a well or build an irrigation system.
Sure.
Or, so it's kind of like, no matter what, that your money is spent towards that community. And it's great because you get updates all the time. And I really trust Plan USA, Plan International. I'm gonna write a book with them next year, but I know it's amazing, because it gives you an amazing feeling of connectedness with people who live in countries that you have no idea about. It's just so cool. Different levels of sponsorship. No, there's just, well, you can sponsor also, well, okay, so you can sponsor a child, but you can also sponsor just girls if you want to.
Okay.
Because they also work against trafficking.
Yeah.
And so that's huge. And that's another book that I'm planning on writing with them about the girls who have been trafficked around the world.
And that's really prevalent in those different areas of the world.
Yeah, especially India, Bangladesh, Nepal. Yeah. So we're really writing. So the book that I'll be writing is about sponsorship in those 3 countries, Bangladesh, India, Nepal. So I'll be interviewing the adults who had been previously sponsored. But yes, so we are going to focus also on the trafficked girls, especially in those countries, because it's most prevalent there.
Yeah.
Especially in Bangladesh and India.
Does the sponsorship help prevent that from happening, or is that going to happen regardless?
I think that sponsorship does help, but it's not going to prevent it. I think prevention stems from education.
Yeah.
And so one of the main reasons why I wanted to really write this book is because I think it's important to understand that education is at the base of everything. We're also enthralled with, our everyday life here, especially in what we call the first world country. But we really don't know what is going on in the world in general, unless we really travel there.
Yeah.
And I've been all over the place. And again, I'm nomadic, so I see all sorts of stuff, and I've seen what pain is like. I know what it is. And I worked at an orphanage in Kenya, and they really had bug infested beds, and they ate in outside in the dirt, and it, you know, it's a world that is beautiful, but it really needs to be understood more. And I think that education is very important, and it is important to really spread the word
Yeah.
about what is going on in the world.
Wow, you've seen some amazing things, and it sounds like you've done even more amazing things. Can I ask what you're an activist for?
I really care about animals. I'm really, really drawn to animals. I love all sorts of
Like,
animals.
I was fostering this little girl,
Oh my
and I've got a
goodness.
rescue that I adopted, but I'm keeping her, and I've got two cats. I feel you there with the animals. Like I've got four myself.
Yeah, I'm a huge animal lover. And so I led a bunch actually of sterilization campaigns in southern Italy. I'm from Milan, I'm from northern Italy, but I was really drawn to the south because the south of Italy has probably the highest amount of strays in Europe,
Oh wow,
and dogs and cats that are stray are everywhere, and
that's
it's
awful.
just awful. And you know, and I would say a lot of people here in the first world, you know, don't really know what is going on out there. There's a lot of stuff going on
Yeah.
like this out there, and I'm also a nonprofit photographer, so I've seen, you know, I've worked in Puerto Rico where the amount of strays is very high. And again, they don't know what to do with all these animals because people don't sterilize them, and so they're just dump them in the trash cans
Oh,
and dumpsters, and
oh,
they poison them, they bury them alive.
oh
Stuff
my
is
God.
awful. Yeah. So it's so I think that the main thing is sterilizing. And so what I did was I led a bunch of sterilization campaigns down in southern Italy, and so we sterilized um, together with Global Giving, which is the largest portal of fundraising in the world, um, a bunch of animals, and we sterilized them. And so, you know, I'm just wanting to spread the word, you know, the word that, you know, there's a lot of opportunities for everybody out there to do good stuff. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't need to do anything grandiose, but, you know, if we start where we are with, you know, say, okay, I'm not necessarily drawn to maybe animals, but I'm drawn to this. Sure, just go for that, but just do it though. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
just do it and don't procrastinate because it's, you know, the world needs it
Yeah.
in, you know, yeah.
I love it. Wow, you are a very impressive person. So, what is the message? How can people support you with what you're doing and the difference that you're making around the globe?
Well, I would say two ways. Um, Obviously, you can take a look at my website, um, lauraformentini.com, where I show a list of nonprofits I currently work with. And you're very welcome, obviously, as the viewer, to contribute. But I also offer you a list of things that will be helpful for you to do, depending on, you know, your the stage in which you are in your life. You know, sometimes you're maybe older or younger, you don't know, or like in between, and you know, it really all depends on where we are in life.
Sure.
So sometimes we have more energy, sometimes we don't. I'm a person who's always had a ton of energy, and sometimes I
Same.
don't even know what to do with it. Um but you know, yeah, so it's like or start writing and publish, and or start, you know, there's so many ways of contributing and to be um uh, I would say to be a game changer.
Yeah.
So many ways, but it doesn't have to be huge. you can start where you are, exactly where you are, and just really go back to your core and say, okay, I'm drawn to what exactly, animals or kids or a specific cause. But whatever comes up first, I would say follow that and start small.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be overwhelming.
Yeah. I took completely one reason why I started my podcast. I do a lot of work for a local, well, they're national, but a charity that helps rehabilitate the survivors of human trafficking here in the Chicago
Wow.
area. So there it's called Refuge for Women Chicago. So I actually rolled out a large food drive for them. So yeah, I mean it is. You can do something very small. You get your community involved, and
Yeah.
we can make a difference. That
Sure.
we all have the power to do something.
Sure.
So
We do have the power.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing that, I would say a lot of people think they don't have the power. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's inside.
Yeah.
The wisdom is inside.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of saying yes. It's kind of like going to the gym. I'm not a big gym person. Once you take that first step, yes, go. And then you can make a difference. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And especially if you realize what your gifts are.
Yeah.
If you're, a visual artist or you're a writer or you're, but if there's something inside telling you that you want to do something, do it. Don't procrastinate. Do it. Because it'll help the world, but it's going to also help you. It's because you're part of the equation.
Yeah.
It's not about, I'm helping everybody else and I'm left behind. It's not the case. You're part of the equation. You are part of the equation. You're part of the whole thing. We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
The boat is the same for everybody. That you are poor, that you are rich, that you are smart, that you are not smart. We're all the same.
Agreed. Oh my gosh, so much great. I think I could talk to you for. You probably have so many stories you could tell. But I'm gonna, before we wrap things up, do you have any last words of wisdom or advice that you could leave with the audience?
I would say, do not be intimidated by your life circumstances. I would say, if you have something inside that screams to be told, go ahead and tell it.
That was beautiful. I'm actually, don't be intimidated by your life circumstances. I love that. That might be the title for the episode. Thank you, Laura, very much for
Thank you, Deanna,
today and sharing some of your story and all the wonderful things you're doing around the world. I think it's amazing. We need a lot more people like you. I will drop all your links in the description of the episode. And you're welcome to come back anytime and share more of what we got going on.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll have a whole bunch more to talk about next time.
Bless you.
You guys,
Bless you.
This is your host, Deanna Kuempel with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, follow, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.